Welcome, everybody, to another Rev Talk. We've been chit-chatting as we always do before we begin, and we started talking about different vibrations and what they come from, where they are, what they manifest, what you can correct them and make them heal. And so we thought we'd just kind of open it up to discussion on vibrations in general. I just went to a naturalist doctor and she did muscle testing, and the vibrations were telling her what was wrong with me. She did one little flick with her hand on my hip bone and one on my other hip bone, and it totally aligned my after my surgery, my hips and my knee no longer bothers me. And then she's given me some stuff that Kim and I've been talking about that she's working with on tinctures and the vibrational qualities of those. So tell us a little bit about what you've been studying and how did you start doing that?
So I've been taking a spiritual awareness class, and they've been talking about numerology and how numerology and like a person's birth date, I think, gives their life path, and their name, gives something else. And the one woman that teaches the class is very, very, very knowledgeable, and she's very intuitive, very much a medium as far as that goes. And she's really, really good. So I became interested. And this, the funny thing is, numerology, I'm dyslexic. So numerology is like, huh, but it became I was fascinated with it, and I started to read up on it. Now there are two different kinds of numerology. Which no, I take that back. There's more than two kinds. The two kinds I was reading about, number one is the Pythagorean, which is what everybody, most people use,
Mhm.
because it's linear. It's, A, you assign a one, B is a two. Going back further than when the Pythagorean numerology started, there was Chaldean numerology, and that was kind of the very beginning of numerology. The Chaldeans um, used, instead of being linear like Pythagoras, Chaldeans base everything on vibration and resonance. So the calculations are slightly different because the way they have it set up is different, in that Chaldean numerology does not use the number nine. They consider that a sacred number. So when you're trying to figure out your name, the nine is not a part of that calculation. So it changes things. So I was reading up on that and found that really, really interesting. And then I thought to myself, well, and of course, I'm talking to one of my friends, very dear friends, who is going through chemotherapy right now. Another one is having serious, knee pains. Not you, but you're also in there. But anyway, and I was thinking about this, and I thought, well, how can I help? And I it came to me one morning, that when you're half awake, half asleep, kind of before you wake up, you kind of get all these ideas, or at least I do. And it said, why not look into plant numerology? I'm like, plant numerology? Nobody's ever done that. It's like, yeah, exactly. So I started developing this um, spreadsheet of medicinal plants based on some of the books that I read on herbal energetics and plant medicines, that kind of thing, and started making my own plant numerology based on the Chaldean expression, which then led me to look towards vibrations, dealing with the chakra system and the frequencies that coincide with the chakras. So
Mhm.
Things have been evolving for me as far as this is concerned, and it's fascinating, and I'm really really enjoying it. And I was able to make a blend, a tea blend for my one for Fran in Cape May. I made that for her and I sent that to her with kind of an explanation as to the frequencies that went along with the plants and how that coincides with the intention of helping her get through what she's getting through, what she's going through. So, physics says science is finally catching up to an awful lot of stuff, what, most people,
Yes.
is that everything is vibration. Everything. My nail file is has its own frequency. It has its own vibration. It makes it as solid as it is. So do we. Each person is unique. So the what I'm developing is based on that person's numerology and the plants that coincide with the vibrations that go with it. So I find it's something that makes me feel good, and it makes me happy that I'm able to do something for someone like tangible.
Yes.
Rather than, I mean, every day when I go around the block, I'm including everybody in my prayers and thanking them for healing them and all. This is something that I can do tangible that gives them something. And maybe that shouldn't make a difference, but it does for me.
You can see your results.
Well, yes,
It's not all esoterical. It's tangible. You
yes,
see it and it's physical. And you put it together from your spiritual knowledge,
yes.
basically. And so, in all essence, you're becoming a healer without realizing it.
Oh, thank you. Well, and I also imbue the herbs with their specific frequency so that it kind of gives a little oomph. Now, here's the thing. I send, it's another one of these things I send, and I think this was what we did um, when we were in seminary class.
Yes.
We each had that project, and I
Project.
and I had to let go of what I created, and that was really difficult. It's still difficult. It's not as difficult, although it is still a little bit, because I send it out and then I think, oh gosh, you know, oh, is it gonna work? What are they gonna think? What are they gonna? And I had to really kind of take a deep breath and let that go.
Yes.
And it's starting to kind of take on a life of its own, which for me, I thought, oh gosh, that can't be good. And yet Fran had called me finally, and she was so excited about receiving it and all. And she said, "Oh, no, no." She said, when it starts taking on a life of its own, that means you're doing something right. That means you're going in the right direction. So I'm thinking you put these vibrations out, you put this intention out, and the universe responds. I've never had it respond so quickly. So it's kind of, for me, it's kind of a,
Yeah. It's the unknown.
yes, but it's,
Someone else is directing your life
I,
without you realizing it. Yes.
well, maybe that's the thing where it's something, the universe has always been directing my life. I just didn't pick up
Didn't
on
listen.
it. Yeah, yeah, okay, didn't listen. All right, I'll give you that one.
Because you had your other direction.
I had my agenda. I
Yeah.
had it all laid out. Yeah, like that works. Not.
Hence, as we always say, go with the flow.
Yes.
It'll never steer you wrong.
Yes. So it's been very interesting to find that the vibrations that are a part of the plants. And of course, we're so used to all this noise around us, all this noise. And what I find is when I'm working with the herbs, when I'm working with the different plants, there is a peace to it. There is a very calming and soothing vibration to putting it all together, not just using, not just imbuing the herbs with a specific vibration, just the act alone.
Hmm.
Oh,
It's almost sacred.
yes, it is sacred. You're absolutely right.
Mhm.
Good word. Thank you.
And it's grounding
Yes,
because it's all to do with Mother Earth.
yes. It my own insecurities want to rear their heads and, scream. And I have to allow myself to take a step back and to say, it's okay. This is, this is where we're going now.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I mean, there are so many synchronicities happening so quickly. And I think that's part of, I don't know if you want to call it the ascension process that we're all going through. I don't know. I just know that we've always talked about how we feel like time is speeding up. Well, I think the energies are ramping up quickly, that things are manifesting faster for us, especially if they are in alignment with our path, with our journey. At least
That's so true.
finding it, I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it
Yeah.
really works.
Yeah, all these years we've been practicing and studying, but now it's in fruition.
I am continually pleasantly surprised that it's working out, that okay, so that I listened to my intuition, that I listened to my team. I actually started to move in that direction, and they were like, "Oh boy,
Here we go.
made that step. Let's go now. Let's reinforce that." And so it's been fun. It's been a little terrifying. It puts me out of my comfort zone big time, but yeah, it's
At the
because
greater good.
yes, because I'm doing something in service to someone else. And I think Reverend Elvia would probably smile about, me following my human design as the cross of service. So, yeah, it takes me a while to get there, but eventually I do get there.
Oh, I think that's wonderful. And it's such a good avenue. It really is.
I'm hoping, well, I don't know what I'm hoping for, except that it benefits anybody who, you
It's interested.
and who wants to give it a try. It's my intention and my hope that it does good. And that's where it comes from. So that vibration is put out there as well. But it's exciting. It is. It's just so when you mention vibration, there's so much to be learned with that we know, just like the tip of the iceberg kind of, with vibration and resonance. I think people are just starting to recognize that there's, a lot more going on.
Well, you know what made me think of it, because I've always been vibrational, but when I would talk to people about the trees and how their roots interconnected, if one's sick, the vibration goes to the sick tree. It's the same with the plants and the flowers, but nobody understood it. Now it's documented on National Geographic, and they've actually played the music these plants and the trees are singing to each other. So it's just we become aware and accepted it now. It's almost second nature. It's just understanding it that we're not quite there yet. And that's what you're working on now. You're making your own program to accept it and understand it and complete it.
Right. Well, and here's the other thing too, to add that extra layer, it's and you and I have said this, I don't know how many times, you and I, it's not just the plants and the trees that are connected, it's us. We're connected as well, not just to each other, also to the trees and the plants and all of that. And so I think, yes, what's being seen and coming around to is that vibrationally we're all coming into resonance with each other, which yes, that's kind of where I'm going with trying to help people find that resonance for them. And again, it's one of those, once it leaves my hands, I have to let that, I have to let it go.
It's like leaving your baby.
Yes, and be what it's supposed to be. And like you and I talked about earlier, it's you get out what you put in. So if somebody gets this and thinks, "Oh, isn't this really great? Oh, isn't this a lovely tea?" Okay, yes, it'll be a lovely tea. You read the write-up that goes with it. There's more to it. There's layers to it. There's depth to it that you get to explore for yourself. And that's where big healing comes.
That's where you open up.
That's where the big healing comes if you allow yourself to do that. And again, you're right. I have to let them do that. This is just a part of, so yes, it's interesting. I'm learning a lot, and you have been a huge help. So I need to give you kudos and thank you so much, um, for helping me and being so supportive and all. But it's yeah, we'll see where this goes.
I hope it all, I don't hope, I know it will because I mean, it's right up everybody's alley. Anybody spiritual or anybody holistic or anybody that is quote unquote a hippie age person. I get this all the time. Oh, you're just a hippie. You're just a... No, I'm vibrationally raising my vibration, and that's associated because nothing bothered the hippies. They were just always in la la land. I'm not in la la land.
Right.
I'm up. Yeah, and that's what's happening.
Yes. So yeah, so thank you for that, and thank you. So again, raising your vibration is part of your journey if you want it to be, right?
There comes a point where you have no choice.
That's oh, that's true. I don't know who I said that to somebody once about being on your spiritual path, and I read it too somewhere then later on. Like once you go down that path, you can't turn around and go back.
Yeah,
And there was a point for me that was like, oh, really? I can't go back. Oh, okay. This is harder than I thought it was. It's kind of,
yeah,
what do you mean I can't go back? Well, you can't. You can't unlearn. You can't unknow,
exactly.
so yes, and it's always, I think it's part of the adventure, so I love that.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you wanna
I want to hug the vibrations.
I know, right? So you just go hug a tree. You'll get the
I
vibration
do. I do.
too. I do.
Mhm.
Ah,
Mhm.
that we want to thank you for joining us on another Rev Talk. We want to remind you to be gentle with yourself and to be kind to yourself and to remember that you are unique in all the universe. There will never be another just like you in all of space and time. You are powerful, you are cherished, and you are loved. And without you, the song of the universe would be incomplete. Until next time, my friends, be well,